In this video, we will go through how to properly suction through a tracheostomy tube in a non-emergent scenario. This procedure is crucial for maintaining clear airways. Before you begin, ensure you have all necessary supplies and equipment ready. You'll need a suction catheter, a suction machine with tubing, gloves, and saline solution. A recipe for saline solution can be found at the end of your tracheostomy and ventilation manual. The minimal emergency equipment you should have nearby is a manual resuscitator and a spare inner cannula. Make sure your suction machine is working well, the canister is less than half full, and the suction level is set appropriately, which is 80 to 120 millimeters of mercury for adults. See the suction troubleshooting video if anything is amiss. Position the member in a comfortable semi-upright position. Communicate with the member and walk them through what you are doing throughout the process. If your member uses an MIE or a cough assist, this should be done prior to suctioning. With clean hands, open the packaging of the suction catheter and connect the catheter to the suction tubing. Do not touch anything below the suction application port. Wash your hands and put gloves on. Use your dominant hand as the clean hand, which will no longer touch anything other than the end of the suction catheter. It's easiest to wrap the suction catheter around your clean hand so you don't touch anything with the end. You will then use your non-dominant hand to do anything and everything else. First, turn the suction machine on. Suction a small amount of saline through your suction catheter to ensure proper functioning of all parts. The saline will also lubricate the catheter for insertion through the tracheostomy. If your member is ventilated, disconnect the circuit with your non-dominant hand. Gently insert the catheter into the tracheostomy tube to the desired depth. Suction depth is typically 1 inch beyond the end of the tracheostomy. Press the suction application port as you rotate the catheter between your thumb and your index finger. Do not exceed 10 seconds with each pass of the suction catheter. Withdraw the suction catheter. Replace the ventilator tubing to the tracheostomy to allow the member to catch their breath. Do not exceed 15 seconds from the time of disconnection of the ventilator tubing to reattachment of ventilation. Next, suck a small amount of saline through the suction catheter to clear any secretions from inside the suction tubing as well as inside the catheter. You can use a small piece of gauze to clean off the end of the suction catheter to remove excess secretions. Once your member has caught their breath, you may proceed with a second pass if necessary. You can store your suction catheter in a container of saline or in a clean, dry container. At the beginning of each day, make sure to wash the saline container and add fresh saline solution. Use 1 suction catheter for a 24-hour period before disposing. Next, wash your hands and clean up.